Okay, l'italiana, not la italiana.
Oh.
Yes, l'italiana. So the timbre in the beginning of this was great. So how does that feel different than the melodia? Because I lose the consistency of timbre in that piece.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have warm, sometimes I have sort of So whatever the beginning of this, now, always be moderate with chest. You know, I think that's a good place. I don't think we need any more, but that's a much better, a much more registered place. I have to say, after not hearing you for a couple months, the color seems a lot more settled, warm, which is great. Just a couple places like horror. You have to just make sure when you're flipping, and this is the same thing with a couple of those things in like rhyme in the melodian and an on or something in Esurientes. Make sure that your tongue tip gets back to your teeth. I think part of the problem is you flip and it doesn't get back, and that's when it can close you off and back a little bit. Non de horror, rar, and back into it. Same thing on lindoro. So you've got an L, an N, a D, and an R, which are all front flips. And so if it doesn't get back, then it gets a little caught. Okay, let's go to the beginning of the aria. I want to just do tal.
Okay.
The space is not bad, but you're not singing an E vowel. You're making a big space, but you're not singing E, so it's double modifying, and that's why that vowel gets a little stuck.
Okay.
Do you know where I'm at? You're going radio. So in that space, you still have to sing E.
Okay. Right.
Just find a place for it. I think it's the second page. One more time. Too vertical, maybe.
Okay.
And yeah, it's that the O is like we sort of talked about. Maybe play around with how does that O fit into that space a little bit. Oh, Dio, don't rush that.
Okay.
The first of the triplets should be a little lengthened. Where's that? What's before that? Because it's getting into that. Yeah, and so maybe that's something, an ensemble thing too.
Okay.
That she's not gonna, that's gonna be a little stretched there, Pam. That actually brings us into the slowdown at the end of the cavatina. So one more time. Da quizás. Keep that tongue just a little more forward. Okay, good. Let's stop there. Just make sure on the descending one, this time it wasn't, the vowels were not quite they weren't totally clear on the way down.
Okay.
But just on the, so that's really just a vowel thing. Bra.
Brahmano.
Tutti la Brahmano, tutti, I just put back to the teeth. So the end. We need a big gesture. So it's either going to be on the second statement of da 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 da, or it's going to be on felicita. As uncomfortable as that makes you. Embrace the world. Okay, so let's do that last page. Yeah. And remember, even in this section, make sure that, vowels are still having some length, that they're not too lateral in the back space. So, everyone's favorite ending is that everyone sings better when they do that. Now we're going to have to just figure out how to do that and make it look like you planned to do that. So it has to be, the whole point of that, the bars of rest, is to breathe in with a big smile. Felicita. You need to go and watch the end. So look up Una Voce Poco Fa and watch just the last 2 minutes and see. I mean, everything ends with a this and then something like that. That's what we need there.
All right.
Okay. Brahms. Yeah, I just being ready to start. And again,
I
that's
always forget about it, but yeah.
just yes. I put ending, question mark, question mark, question mark. Why push? The A was actually better than the notes that preceded it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You worked so hard on the things that were not hard, and then the hard thing was right. So just coast. Let's do that. Like the last two phrases.
First one.
Second one. Like the last two phrases, please. Max, I told Hayley to ask you about your travails with the song.
Yeah, I always feel bad for you.
Max endured his own hell with this song.
That's so pretty.
You're giving me a lot of spread position. Good, now do the same thing and keep all of this open. So do the. And if you just had a little more shape, that would have been. So I think you might like it better without the break.
Yeah.
I think it's going to let you continue. Let's do that one more time. There you go. And notice, that time, you had high voices. We had high vibration, not low vibration, and that's what you have to feel there. Because if you start to pull down on that, it's going to
Yeah.
be much harder. Yeah, I just want to play around with this. Just finding again sort of the same color. You know, and maybe that's one of the things. Just do it on one vowel, and then go back. I just feel like some of the like lateral vowels are really sort of lateral, and you can see on the video.
Okay.
Okay, number 1. Have the boy color from the beginning. I think that's just a mental thing.
Okay, yeah.
Be ready. I got it about halfway through the verse.
Okay.
Don't rush. It was fast, 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 fast. Verse 3, I would say she rushed. So I would say start it slower. Slower. Don't forget we need boy color in verse 3,
Okay.
the minor verse.
Yeah.
German's good in this. The other thing I said, I could use more specific dramatic choices. Maybe body positions for each character. You know, careful of the sort of shifty because you do that for both. You know,
Okay.
the cocky did this a little bit, and then she did this a little bit. So I think you just have to make some specific choices.
Okay.
Okay, Magnificat. So this is a note for everyone in the room. It is just Messiah. It is just Magnificat. So not the Messiah, the Magnificat, because that's the genre. This is the movement. If we said the Messiah, that would be the one Messiah, you know. And that's a whole conversation that we're not really getting into. But no thes.
Okay.
In the last run, the narrowing the vowel worked, but you only did it about halfway through.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh yeah.
Right, and it worked when you did it. The E vowel seemed a little clinched in this piece.
Oh, like the.
Right back here.
Okay.
Yeah. E. Let's just start. Especially the D. Because you have all of those, and it's almost like you get close, and then the E stays in that place.
Okay.
Better. Okay, yeah, so maybe it's just being aware. You know, just be careful that closed A and consonants can then make the E vowel a little too close too. But that was better. And that was a better end of that section.
The honest is
Uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah,